This is CTW Comics coming to y'all with another awesome custom review. And today we will be looking over Hunter, which I have just finished. And I'd like to give a special thanks to one of my subscribers who sent over some paint pens, which I use for the lower half of the body and to do the arms for here and here. And then the belt, and for the back. So that was really helpful, and thank you so much for that. Also they sent me this. So to start off, we'll go at the feet, and I really wanted it to look armored like they do in the Bad Batch, so I'll finish this sentence. I really wanted it to look armored so it would look more like the Bad Batch and just look super real. That way it just wasn't flat. So, this is my mind just blanked. DC 17S, I believe. Blaster pistol from I know this. AV Figures. Yes, okay. I am sorry that my mind completely blanked there for a second. But yeah, so now I'm going to take that out of the way. I'm going to move to the feet. So to start off, I just did a main coat of black. Then right here you can see that I did little red stripes. And let's see if I can get the camera to focus. That turned really dark. Then you can see that right here, that's a metal plate that goes around the side and then the front. And then this little thing is the knee pad, which is also a metal plate. And I accented it with white so that it didn't just look all black. Then also did some upper leg pads. You can see it goes up there and then slants down and comes over here. And then it's also on the other side. Then this is just a white mark that's on all the clone troopers that I do, because that's how their legs are. And then moving to the belt, you can see right here, these are just some little red lines that are on his belt that, I think they're actually electrical, like flashlights or something, or at least they glow. And so those are right there. Then there's these little boxes on the sides. Then there's that little thing, which is where someone's belt loop would be, just painted around that black. Then as you can see, I just painted the torso main color black. Then you can see there's some little indentions there, which are on his armor. And then this is sort of like the commando armor that I did for Commando Cooper in the 17/14th video. But, so I did that, and I did it in a gray color, then put a red stripe there, just like his armor. Then moving to the left side, or his left arm, we just have a normal hand. Then his gauntlet just has a red stripe, like it does. Let's see if that can focus. Yeah, okay. So it will have to be a little dark right here. But as you can see right here, that's his shoulder pad. And I put some red there, just like on his armor. Then there's a base color of gray. Then that says 99, like on his armor. That's a little skull face, which that was really hard to paint. And I actually painted that today. It's actually only supposed to be on that side, but I painted it on both. Just because, well, honestly, I forgot. And when I looked at the reference picture, I thought it was on both, but then it ended up only being on one when I looked back. Then over here, there's just his hand, and then his wrist gauntlet with the same red stripe. I'll get back to this in a minute. Then you have his shoulder with a red triangle, which is supposed to be on both sides, but this shoulder is covering that. But so, it's just a little red triangle. Then there's his shoulder pad with the red, and then the little skull that has a 99 beneath it. So that was really hard to paint, but I think that it turned out looking really snazzy, cool, awesome. And then coming to the back, you just have this, which this is from, I think that a bunch of people sell it, but it's like a Bad Batch knockoff Lego. The one that I had in my last video. So I took that backpack, snapped it off, and then put a magnet there. And there's a magnet right here on his back. And then as you can see here, there's a back plate that you can see reflecting because it's metal. Then I just did a black coat with the paint pen over it. And then this can just snap on, which is really nice. I like to have backpacks that you can just take off like that, so you don't have to take off the whole head. Then coming to his helmet, which is one of my absolute favorite parts. You have, this is, I think it's a pretty exact replication of Hunter's helmet. But here you have the red that sort of fades off at the sides. And then you have where the visor would normally go down, it's painted red. Just like in the show. And then right here it's white, which is resembling like a skull or whatever that goes down here. Then you have the red stripe that runs across his forehead. Then the red mohawk area with the dark black around it. Then you have the grayish black, just base color. And that is looking pretty snazzy. But I think that this is honestly one of my favorite customs. And possibly one of my most accurate customs. And again, thanks to one of my subscribers who sent in this thing and the paint pens. Because I really did like all of his lower body, his back, his arms. And I did some touch-ups on the helmet today, all using those paint pens. And that really helped. So thank you a ton. It was super helpful and useful. I can't wait to make more customs using it. And now moving on to the part that no one was expecting, his hairpiece. So right now I'm going to take off his helmet really quick. Sometimes it gets stuck, so I'm going to try to do it behind camera. Sorry, have to use another body to take his head off because his head gets stuck inside of the helmet. So I'll pop his backpack back on, and then when you put that on, you have the ultimate Hunter. And this is really like, if y'all look at my videos, I have an Empire Destroyed series, which is like, it's a stop motion series with Imperials, and eventually they meet up with the Bad Batch that the Empire is working for. And, they're working for the Empire. It was before the new season came out, or the Bad Batch series came out, so I thought that they'd be working with the Empire. But, I had Hunter in that, but this is a majorly better, awesome version of him. For reference, I'm sorry, I just really would like to pull this out to show y'all. I can pull this box out of this drawer. Okay. So, I want to show y'all the difference. There's this, and this is how I would do it now. And, like, compared to that, when my channel started, I think this is better. Definitely 100%. But this guy was the original Bad Batch Hunter that I made. So, I just always like to look back to that and at how much I've been able to improve. I'm not trying to like brag on myself, but I think it's pretty cool. And then going to his face, you can see that his eyebrows brown up there, and I painted the normal clone eyebrows brown, which was sort of hard. And I did all this with a paint pen, which is pretty hard to, because it like works better with the lines and all than just a normal small thing to or like a paintbrush. Sorry. So yeah, if that's on both eyebrows, which I painted brown, then you have the black skull that he painted or tattooed on the right side of his face. I'm not sure if it's a tattoo or if he was like born with it. Pretty sure it's a tattoo though. Then there's just some standard black hair that's on the top. And then this is a red piece of leather that goes around and then ties off in the back like a bandana. That was sort of hard to do. Just getting it to curl under right there. Took a little bit. Then, as you can see, if I can focus the camera, this is a little skull face. Sorry, the camera's not focusing. So, it was sort of hard to make it, and, I mean, sort of resembles a skull face. But, so there's two eyes, and then there's the little slots where the teeth go, then little indentions on the cheeks on both sides. Sorry, that piece just came off. And so, that's also on his bandana in the show. And then I just colored his neck black, which I think looks pretty cool. And that is the ultimate hunter. And honestly, I never, ever thought that I'd be able to make a Lego that looked this much like the actual character. So thank you so much to the subscriber who sent me all this. And that worked beyond how good I thought it could. Especially with like the face and how that goes there. How I could get that sort of craggly look. And then leave those two areas that are actually on his mouth in the show with the tan still on it. It was super, super useful. And so, thank you 1,000 times for all that. And so, that is... Oh, wait. I almost forgot his awesome knife. So this, I made that a super long time ago. I just painted it. And I also repainted the knife from the last time y'all saw it. So, if you pull it out, you can put his hand up. And slide the knife into his right hand. I decided to leave the yellow off the knife so that it could just slide into the sheath a little better, because it was a really tight fit. But so I put a little red line on the back, which, as you can see, it's right there, which that's actually on his knife in the show. If you look at it, it's like a little electrical red light. Then the blade is just a silver vibro blade. Actually, I'm not sure if it's a vibro blade. I think it might just be a knife. Standard knife. And this is actually a tiny tactical knife. I think it's the miniature one. There's a big one, there's a small one. I chose the small one. And I think that just really fits Hunter. Let's see if I can get that and then flip it around. You can have the ultimate hunter. And so, I've honestly, today, I worked on this for like 5 hours doing everything. So, like, honestly, I just finished the figure. These paint pens dry ridiculously fast, which is really nice. But, so I literally, like, just finished him before I started this, and all the stuff is perfectly dry, which is nice. So, I'm just gonna leave him here for y'all to look at. Looks pretty rad. Sorry, just fixing his backpack. But yeah, this is one of my absolute favorite figures that I have probably ever done in the time that I've been working on customs. Just because of, like, the paint pens was pretty fun to do. And just, I mean, I'm not trying to, like, brag on myself. Sorry if I sound like I am, but just how, like, accurate and all it looks was really nice.